Hey folks, Frank Zarilla here, 8/10/2025, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to go over a couple of names that I have on my watch list for tomorrow. I'll speak very briefly about the market. Market as far as the indices are concerned, listen, holding up extremely well, right? SPY, QQQs, NASDAQ, uh, the IWM is the only one that's flat year to date. But either way, underneath the surface, breadth hasn't been that great. Short-term breadth hasn't been great. I think we had a good little window that lasted until July 24th, I believe is that date. And then since then, breadth has been really spotty. Not only short-term, but also kind of like the intermediate, longer-term breadth is a little spotty. For a couple of things. Number one, it won't matter until they hit the FANG names, right? Unless they hit those big NVIDIA, Apple, negative breadth divergences won't matter at all. These things control the major indices for the most part. If we look at the equal weight, slightly different look than the actual SPY. Equal weight for the QQQEW, again, different look, right? At the 50-day underneath the 21-day moving average versus the Qs, which is, they're way above the 50-day and way above the 21-day moving average, right? The thing with these negative divergences, they're really not actionable, right? You can't, per se just short the index because we see negative divergences because, number one, it really doesn't work because, again, you're pretty much just betting against those big names. Number two, negative divergences, unlike positive divergences, can right themselves very quickly. We suddenly can have tomorrow, I think Zero Hedge just put on Twitter that hedge funds are short IWM the most they've ever been. That in itself, tomorrow you'll see the IWM up 2 to 3% in their spread for you. But either way, let's take a look at some stocks for tomorrow. The 7 names that I have on my list, these names had a recent catalyst and or they're part of some theme, okay? And what I'm looking for is for tradable ideas for the next 3 to 5 days. And these trade ideas are specifically for tomorrow if and only if they're able to get through the previous day high, which is Friday's high. Let's start with AEL, American Eagle. We all know there was a viral ad from Sydney Sweeney and the company. Trump spoke about it. Stock had some huge volume right over here, 44 million shares. Right over here, 63 million shares. Triple inside day. And then we have this little tight candle right over here. I like the stock going through 1273. Stop, you can use this low, which is $12 or 11.90. But again, here's a stock that's been dead for a while. And suddenly volume came in, and what we've had over the last couple of days, over the last few days, is contraction, 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 okay? Next one on the list is APLD. The stock had a big move right over here on 730 on 137 million shares. It was earnings. They lost 3 cents versus expectations of 14 to 16 cents. Earnings surprise of 81% in revenues, 38 million plus 41%. And although they missed their forecast, the stock is heavily short at 35% according to Finviz. And more importantly, longer term, this company announced a 15-year lease agreement with Coreway for data centers. So, this stock is definitely in play. It's been trading sideways for a while. Down 3 days in a row. I like the stock right over here going through 1449. You can put a really tight stop at 1365, or you can give it more room. I hate to be stopped out of stocks above the 10-day moving average. That 10-day right now is trading at 1285. All right, so you can play it tight, 1360, 1350, or give it more room. But APLD, again, fresh catalyst right over here, 137 million shares. Next one is JOBY. JOBY, again, I call these, wow factor stocks, right? They had a lot of things going on, right sector, a lot of news recently. You can argue this is a high tide flag, goes from 10 to 20, has a small pullback, is down 3-4 days in a row to the 21-day moving average. I like the stock going through 1736, something like this. Listen, the market is, I'm not crazy about the market right now. But if you're looking for, ideas, then my buy stop is something like this would be above 1736, 1740 for Monday and Monday only. And then a stop right over here at this low at 1630. QBTS, D-Wave Quantum. Again, quantum computers, they're in play. One of their competitors, I believe it was IONQ, I believe Amazon took a small stake in the company. I also believe that RIGL reports this week, so you got to look out for that. But this stock, and again, I call this stock a wow factor stock. Why? It's a theme stock. A lot of volume came in here, 260, 228, 161, 308. Here trading sideways. You can call this whatever you want, a cup and handle, but here we have a stock that printed an inside day on Friday, down 3 days in a row to the 50-day moving average. I like the stock going through 1777. If I had to make a move on Monday on one looking for ideas, 1780 is the buy stop, 1650 is a stop. GLXY, another theme stock, digital assets, run by Michael, hope I'm saying his last name correct, Novagat's ex-hedge fund manager, who now has a digital asset company. They have $24 million worth of Solana, which, you know, is doing well technically. And again, some of these companies are becoming treasury holdings. And, you know, you have the Bitcoiners, you have the Ethereum, and now Solana might be next. So this one, they own 24 million Solanas. And then here, again, retracing back to the 21-day moving average. I like the stock going to the 28.38, buy stop 28.40, stop 26.40. PL Aero Defense Company. Again, big move over here on roughly 68 million shares. That was on the back of earnings. Backlog up 140% year over year. $226 million in cash. They're a global daily satellite imagery company. Either way, down 3 days in a row, up on Friday, right at the 21-day moving average. Has been holding up extremely well. I like the stock going through 656, 660, buy stop, 620, sell stop. Or you can use here 616. And then here we have another quantum name, heavily shorted, 27% short. Traded 131 million shares right over here. Look, it looks good. You can say, oh, it's underneath the 50-day moving average. The 50-day moving average is still rising. 21 days right over here at 1658. I like the stock as, you know, buy stop 1660, sell stop 1550. All right. So if you need ideas, I think these ideas right over here, at least for Monday. Tuesday is a different day. For Monday, if they don't trigger on Monday, then you have to revisit the whole situation on Tuesday. But if you're looking for ideas, these are stocks that recently had a catalyst and or they're part of some type of theme. All right. So trade them well.